When I was coming to speak here today, my father whispered, "Don't fear, Emreen, just go." And I thought, fear? Most of us in my generation really don't fear. We don't fear failure, we don't fear exams, and we do not even fear being unpopular. We live in an age defined by progress, where innovation fuels ambition and ambition shapes destiny. Just India, with its 1.46 billion citizens, is classified as the world's youngest nation. Over 358 million Indians were born after 2005, and world over 2.4 to 2.7 billion people today are under the age of 20. That is more than 25% of the population. Ladies and gentlemen, I repeat, more than 25% of the population is under the age of 20 today. A generation destined not just to enter the future, but to define it. But somewhere in this glorious march towards progress, we stumbled. We are losing our future, not to wars, not to poverty, nor even to drugs, but to something far more dangerous and far more quieter: a screen that fits in the palm of our hands, yet exercises control over an entire generation. Our classrooms are full, yet attention is empty. Our families do sit together, yet no one looks up. Confidence is traded for likes, and friendships are counted in streaks. What was once a tool for progress has now become a trap for potential. The digital world has turned into an invisible battlefield where the war is not for land or money, but for our attention, our time, and our peace of mind. Studies already link excessive screen usage to poor health, anxiety, fractured focus, not just among students, but among families, workplaces, and even nations. Because when focus collapses, so does creativity and so does progress. So I began to ask myself a question, and I ask you today: are we still designing technology, or has technology begun designing us? I repeat my question, listen to it carefully. Are we still designing technology, or has technology begun designing us? Because today we live in an era where attention is the new oil and distraction is the new disease. Our peace is auctioned ping by ping, scroll by scroll, notification by notification. And the generation most affected? Mine, the youth, the same 2.8 billion young minds. But the question here today is, how did this happen? Were we born this way, or did we slowly surrender ourselves to this? These are the few questions that we rarely stop to ask until something awakens us. My awakening came quietly. During the pandemic, when everything shifted online, friends, families, birthday parties, technology became my whole world. At first, it felt like magic, but the magic slowly turned into a maze. I would say things like, just one more video, mom, just one more reel, dad, and I'm sleeping, without realizing that one more night of mine was being lost. One evening, after hours and hours of scrolling through almost everything and nothing, my dad just entered my room and asked me that, "What are you doing?" I replied, "Nothing, dad, just using my phone." After that, what he replied to me froze me because he said, "You are not using your phone. Instead, your phone is using you." And that was the moment which did not shame me, but it awakened me. Because I realized that I wasn't in control, but something else was. I began to learn that every color, every swipe, every vibration wasn't just all an accident. Everything is engineered to capture your dopamine, your focus, and your peace of mind. And that is when I realized that we are not weak, but we are being designed for distraction. But here's the simple truth that kept me going, that if we can be designed to lose control over ourselves, then we can also learn how to recode ourselves. We can decode tomorrow by understanding what is shaping us today. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, I founded Youth Digital Wellness, a movement by the youth for the youth to reclaim our attention, our time, and our peace of mind. Because this fight is not just about technology alone, it's a fight for awareness, balance, and our choice. I believe every generation has had their own struggles. Our grandparents fought wars, our parents fought for stability, and we are fighting for our own attention. And this fight isn't just about teenagers being on their phone, but it's about every parent who is struggling to get connected to their child. It's about businesses losing productivity due to digital burnout. It's about an entire economy suffering the loss of distraction. Because the cost of distraction is not personal, it's global. My vision is simple, to create a world where digital wellness is taught like mental and physical health. A world where creators create with empathy, schools teach with presence, and technology grows with us, not over us. Where we learn not only how to code software, but how to decode our own minds. And that is the tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, we must build. And that is what decoding tomorrow truly means. From turning awareness into action and vision into reality. So today, don't delete all your apps. Don't punish yourself. Just observe that how many times do you reach out for your phone when it's not even necessary? That how many moments of silence can become moments of peace if you just stayed still? Youth Digital Wellness is not just my project, it's my mission, where students, parents, educators, and professionals like you come together and unplug the trap to reclaim the future. Today, I don't know how far I will go, but I surely know where I'm headed to. My mission is clear, to awaken a generation before it forgets what it truly means to be a human first. Together, we won't just decode the future, but we will shape it and make a better tomorrow. Thank you.